Let's talk about this Fivio Foreign album.
Okay, that's where we're going. Okay.
Yeah, we might as well.
No,
What
no, no. Cool.
What did you think about the Fivio Foreign album Bible?
First of all, I'm gonna stay consistent with this Wu Tang thing. Wu Tang forever, Mike. Because I mean, what does Bible stand for? Is it the same as Killer Priest song at the end of Liquid Sword? Basic instructions before leaving Earth. Is it the same Bible? Is it the same acronym?
Not sure. Not
Okay.
sure.
And so we know different. It's Wu Tang forever.
Wu Tang forever.
All right. But as far as the album is concerned, it had some moments. I'm gonna tell you what I did about halfway through the album. Halfway through the album, I'm like, how old is Fabio? I found out Fabio's 32, and I'm like, man,
What?
I'm like, this is for.
He's 32?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
exactly.
Hmm.
And so what I immediately thought is like, well, we kind of just talked about Drake and talked about me last year, and about how like it didn't kind of like resonate with us totally. Some of the music matching up like with the lifestyle, where
Right.
you are in age, where you are money wise, and so like, doesn't it sound like the album that a rapper that's like 17 to 25 makes?
Yeah. No,
Aren't you
I
surprised?
agree.
32.
That's why I thought he was younger. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, but and also too, and maybe this is just like becoming a drill rap thing, like the melodies of it, the bass line of it.
Mm-hmm.
It's just too strikingly similar track to track sometimes. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I get it's a mood and it's a theme, but every Manny Fresh beat didn't hit the same when he was like doing a reenactment of the bounce sound that comes out of New Orleans. You get what I'm saying?
No, you're right.
Manny was hitting you with different stuff.
Let me get to this super chat real quick, and you can finish that thought. The Comb 44, because it was up there for a second, says, not taking anything from Kane, but he thought about it and he didn't feel confident going against Rakim, period. Those records that Rakim has, they're very intimidating. But yeah, what were you saying, Sonics?
I mean, that person is right. Record-wise, the only two people that should not feel intimidated by Rakim's records are that are here with us are Jay-Z and Nas. Everybody else should be intimidated by the records, including KRS and Kane. So that's fair.
Yeah, those records are tough to beat.
Mike, you want to know what's on your mind from "Don't Sweat the Technique" came on the other day?
It's a dope record.
And I'm thinking to myself, it's like I don't even know if this is one of your 30 best songs.
I like the record, but yeah. He got joined.
I like the record too, Mike. It's like that. If it is one of his 30 best songs, it's like 25 to 30.
Imagine Rakim going out there performing these records on a versus format where there is no audience, right? Because I think for Rakim, the audience can end up being a crutch because, like I said, he has these records that we all just want to rap to. I mean, if we pull up the footage of when we were there, I was rapping like every single word. But if there was a setting where he was able to play these songs and sit there and rap them, because he's a very dope performer. He just has songs that the crowd gets into and he lets the crowd do it. It would be damn near impossible for anybody to see him in a versus. Because he'll start pulling out songs like Casualty of War, and then you start listening to the words in that shit, like, man.
I don't want to stand next to that guy rhyme-wise, right?
Y'all thought that what Jadakiss did at the verses was a problem. If he gets out there and raps his songs in that way, that's unbeatable.
Mike, I come on here oftentimes now and I say, where's their Microphone Fiend record? Who made Microphone Fiend?
Crazy record.
Right.
I mean, if he goes out there doing like a Lyrics of Fury or something.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, because the Microphone Fiend has like Microphone Fiend records for days. That's what I'm saying. He has Casualties of War. He has No the Ledge. He's got No Omega.
Diesel said LL Cool J and Busta Rhymes is not intimidated by Rakim's songs. Listen, man, I'll give you LL, and I love Busta. I love Busta.
I'm not going to give you L either because the weight of Rakim's words is just going to, like, some of them hits is just going, you're going to be like, that shit don't sound as strong no more because lyrically he's just somewhere. Yeah.
I mean, even if you put a song like Doing It up against like Don't Sweat the Technique, Doing It's a better song per se, But don't sweat the technique, man. You hear those two back to back, and you look at the mic performances, you might feel differently. I'm just
Right.
saying.
If he can perform those records like with agility and ferocity, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Back to Fivio Foreign. I'm not really feeling him. And I tried. I tried to get into the album. I tried to get into some of his freestyles on Flex and stuff like that, and I just, I'm not feeling it. I like his production. I do agree with you that some of the production can get redundant, but you could tell that it was well put together. And even the song with Quavo, Magic City. Well, he has two songs with Quavo that are back to back.
Mm-hmm.
Look, Quavo's not, from what many people feel, a lyricist by any means, but he sounds like a star on there, and he carries the record, in my opinion.
So you're not the only one with that opinion because it's spring break down here. So my daughter was with me in the car today. And guess what she said about this album? The guest appearance artists are carrying him on these songs.
That's not good.
That's what she said.
And see, I was thinking that maybe because I wasn't in tune with his movement that I felt that way. But yeah.
But look, Mike, literally after hearing the two Quavo records, she literally said, Quavo just made those two songs.
Yeah.
Like, that's a 15-year-old. That's like his demographic. Correct me if I'm wrong. Isn't my daughter falling in his demographic for the type of music that he's making?
Yeah, yeah.
She's like, the guest artists are carrying. She said the guest artists are carrying, and it's too many samples.
Not too many samples.
She said too many samples.
Now that I've never heard.
She was recognizing the samples. She was like, who is he, like, to take these samples? And because she was saying pretty much like he's taking these samples and not really doing enough with them because she's recognizing the samples. She's like, oh, he took that? Like, what? But it don't sound, oh, he shouldn't have took that. That's what she's saying. There's too many samples. It should have even been more original if he was going to have all these guest artists too.
Somebody said another French Montana. You know what? We do have a lot of people in this era that do get carried by features and somehow down the line, and we love collaborations. We even made it a category on our MC rating list. But at some point, the collaborations just got kind of crazy for certain artists, and we were put in positions where artists were getting carried by their features. You know, I was at the barbershop today, and everybody argued me down when Certified Lover Boy came out, and we're going to talk about that in our According to Hip Hop Grammys too. Everybody argued me down when that album came out that it was dope. And then they told me today, it was like, look, man, I got to admit, man, Certified Lover Boy didn't age well. His features were carrying him on the album.
All right.
And it's,
okay.
Yes, and it sounds like a lot of those songs on Certified Lover Boy were already other people's songs and they sent them to Drake.
I don't think this is that, but this is another case. Okay, so.
But I'm just saying, it's another case of somebody being carried by features, and it never works well for you.
Right. So remember, like, when we were talking about Russ's album, and we were like, no, we can hear Russ is dope. We just want to hear more of you. See, Russ wasn't getting carried by his features. He just walked in with some heavyweights, and all heavyweights walked in on their A game because they could hear that the kid could spit, which is what they're supposed to do to let him know, like, you're going to have to work for this. This isn't like that. He doesn't establish himself on this album with these guest appearances, with these artists who are more renowned than him. Like, he doesn't establish himself the way Russ did, where I say, oh, well, let me hear more of you. Or let me hear just more of you by yourself. Or I want to hear your next project. I don't get that from this project. I get a couple of good moments, but all of the good moments are tied into another artist. Magic City with Quavo. City of Gods with Kanye and Alicia Keys. I don't love Alicia Keys' part or the beat. My daughter didn't like the beat. I didn't like Alicia Keys' part. We both agreed it didn't fit together. But Kanye's verse is snapping, Mike. Kanye on there snapping. Kanye's verse is the pinnacle of that song.
Kanye has quotable on that song. Probably the best verse on the whole album.
It is the best verse on the album, and I was actually thinking, is that going to be one of our verse of the year contenders that I need to mark down for next year's year?
I think so.
I think so.
I think his verse on the Games album as well, or song.
I'm not so
Easy.
certain about that one. I'm
Really?
certain about this one. Really.
Okay.
Confidence. ASAP. ASAP carried that. I thought the only time where he kind of blended well is the slime thing with Lil Yachty came off well. I don't feel like Lil Yachty outshined him, but every other one, Lil
Well,
Baby,
imagine that. Never mind.
just don't do that.
I don't even want to get on that. You know what?
And why is DJ
Lil
Khaled?
Yachty went to my high school. And you know what? And he actually went to Alabama State too for a year. He followed, well, I don't say follow me, but we went to the same high school and one of the same colleges. And the same college before I transferred to Georgia State. I'm going to be honest on this microphone until proven otherwise. I think Lil Yachty is the worst rapper of all time. Top 3 at least.
Somebody you went to school with.
I don't give a fuck. If you're one of the worst rappers of all time, you're one of the worst rappers of all time. I'm sorry. I think Magoo's a better rapper than him. I don't even think Magoo's that bad. I'm just going on what y'all say. Y'all say Magoo, Silk the Shocker. They're better than Lil Yachty. They are. Trinidad James might be worse.
What did Nas say on 4016 building? It's the ones you grew up with.
Can't trust that nigga, Mike. No, man, he's whack. I'm sorry, man. Until proven otherwise.
No, I dig it.
He said, man, blow my dick like a cello. You don't blow a cello, Yachty. Come on.
No, I get it. And then, like, Mike, there's just some stuff on here. It's like, okay, the love songs with Neo. Why?
Right.
Why?
It was like they were trying to make the album for him, sounds like.
Right. Bible Talk, the interlude with DJ Khaled. Why is DJ Khaled doing your interlude on, like, what? Why? How?
No, I feel you. Unnecessary.
Right. So it's like, this is the way an industry album shouldn't be put together, in my opinion, in a lot of ways. Because here's the thing, you can't see his talent through any of this. And you can't hear, like, the songs aren't great enough to, like, it's just not coming together well. I don't like the way that this project was put together. If the industry put this project together for him, shame on them.
No, for real. That's what it seems like. I think Kanye West was the executive producer.
Kanye put this together?
Mm-hmm. I think he's the executive producer of this album.
This is one of the projects he's ever put together.
He didn't have a lot to work with as far as the actual individual talent, in my estimation. It's just my opinion. And somebody in the chat said Birdman is the worst rapper of all time. Listen, Birdman has tons of verses better than Yachty's. Birdman's verse on Yachty doesn't have a better verse than Birdman's verse on Stuntin' Like My Daddy.
Just thinking about Stuntin' Like My Daddy.
And he ain't got a better,
Kanye executive produced this, and Mike Dean mixed and mastered it.
Did he?
Shame on him. Yeah, shame on him.
Where did he mix and master it from? The Dungeon?
I don't know. Shame on him.
I think it was put together well, but I just don't. But the pieces, though, like you said, if these are the pieces that the industry put together for him, because you got, let me go to the track list so I can get this on the set for everybody. You got DJ Khaled doing the interlude, like you said. Why?
Why? What for?
Love songs.
And this is what I mean. Did you call everybody? You called Quavo twice. You got Kanye. You got Alicia Keys. You got A$AP Rocky. You got Chloe. You got Lil Yachty. You got Lil Baby. You got Khaled. You got Blueface. You got Neo.